G'day guys, welcome back. In part 2, and hopefully the last part, of restoring and flipping this $300 marketplace purchased EF Falcon. So I am so keen to get this car back up to scratch. In the last video, we went over it and we did a lot of things. We changed the front brakes, we put new bonnet struts in it, we cleaned her up a little bit, interior, gave it a nice clean. If you haven't watched that episode, please go back and give it a watch. Our main goal and focus for today is to get this car ready to be advertised. We're gonna give it a clean, we're gonna polish her up. I have some new parts to go on the car as well, do some things mechanically, and hopefully by the end of this video today, we could chuck her up on the old marketplace in Gumtree and car sales. So if it is your first time viewing, thank you so much for watching and joining in. This is my 1995 EF Falcon we managed to pick up off marketplace for a beautiful purchase, $300. A little worse for wear, and you probably hear that she had a bit of lifter tick, so we're gonna address that today, hopefully. Give her a good clean. We actually got a friend. Say hello to the viewers. Hello. Ah. So some cutting compound here and some polishing compound as well, and we're going to go over it with a hand pad, and we're just going to get this paint just to get as good as it can get. Obviously we have all our clear fade here, which isn't the greatest thing in the world, but this is the good side here. Another thing we did as well is this mirror was flopped, so we have to like glue this on somehow. So I'm thinking maybe just a G-clamp, some adhesive, and we'll glue that on. But the car is a bit dirty, so I'm just gonna give her a wipe down. We did wash it the other day. I think 2 days ago, I gave her a wash and got all the cobwebs in it off it. So I'm just gonna run over it with a microfiber and then get ready to make the surface as clean as possible so we can polish it. God, it smells like the Northern Tea Party in here now. First thing, we have a box. Let's open it. Aha. These are brand new corner lights. So you can see we have one that's completely busted here, and this one is sort of cracked up the top here. So these will replace these corner lights, make the car look much nicer at the front. Sort of what lets the car down on this side is that, because you look at it this side, like that corner light makes it look a bit shit, as well as that paint down there, but don't worry about that. So I've got 2 of these, and these are only about, I think they were 52 bucks for both of them, so dirt cheap. So obviously I'm gonna go over every single cost at the end of this, and see how much we're in for the car, and see how much we can sell the car for. Now I also have the mighty lifter tick disappearer. So this is a additive you add into your engine. If you've got noisy lifters or whatever, try quieten them up. Now what I was gonna do with this car is actually just take the rocker off, have a look at it visually, and just, you know, make sure there's nothing going on in the cylinder head. But we have established it is the #1 cylinder lifters. When you put a screwdriver up onto the cylinder head and onto your ear, like this, and then listen to the cylinder head, it's very noisy in the first one. So at least we've diagnosed which cylinder it's coming from, but all the other ones are nice and quiet. So if I do sell it and it has a noisy lifter, someone can replace the lifter or the lifters, or they can put a burr in it, do whatever. Also in the last episode, we did paint our wiper blades, and you know, they still look really nice, and we painted here as well. That looks really good. That was all like a rust, and that would have made the car look so tacky. That's so much better. Let's get these corner lights out. Before I get to that, I almost forgot. This car has like 2 or 3 wheel nuts on each wheel. Now when I bought it off the person, the car had no wheels, so I had to bring my own wheels. This is actually an FG wheel, and the other 3 are my AU wheels. I only have 3 of them, so I'm gonna have to sell the car on one odd wheel. Yeah, so when I bought this car, it had odd wheel nuts. So on the front here, we have most of them. We had to put the bolt-on spacers on the front to get the AU wheels to fit over the EF hubs. But all the other ones, I only had a couple of wheel nuts holding them on. I had to drive the car 40 minutes home on 2 or 3 wheel nuts on each wheel. So over here, luckily, next to my charging battery, I have a bag full of wheel nuts, which is good because these are off my AU drift car. I forgot I had these, luckily I did, so I don't have to buy wheel nuts for it. And I'm gonna chuck them on, make the car nice and safe. Whoever picks it up can drive it home and not have the wheels fall off it. All right, so let's get rid of this sorry excuse for a freaking corner light. So there should be a screw under here somewhere. Once that's out, the whole light should slide forward. And we'll see how many friends we have. Okay, so screws out. Ooh. Make sure there's no red backs. And then we'll just take the globe holder out. God, it's so hard to hold the camera. Can I hold you guys in between my legs? Can you see? There we go. Aha. There's one out. This one's pretty busted. So we'll put that in the floor. Let's have a look at our new one. Beautiful. You versus the guy she told you not to worry about. I'm gonna tell you, for $50 bloody for these two, they're bloody beautiful, aren't they? All right, let's chuck him in. All right. 10. Slide him in. Already, look at that. God, makes the headlight look like shit now. So now we just gotta, you can see that tab in there? That's where the screw goes. Such an easy car to work on. Some cars you have to pull apart the entire subframe and the front apron of the vehicle just to get to the corner lights. And now screws in there, just screw it down. I'll put my knee on it just to put some pressure. And that's it, done. One on, one to go. Now thinking about it, because how cheap they were, I'll probably get a set for my green EF over there. Oh yeah, the front of the car, this side of the car looks so ratty just because of that indicator. It looked like, you know, just a full methmobile. All right, we'll quickly do the other one, and then we'll get onto some more things. This engine bay needs a good clean as well. And boom, other side's done. Look at that, fantastic, awesome, and awesome. I think what I'm going to do now is, while we have the car in this state, I'm just going to get a dry, clean rag. I'm going to go over and I'm just going to give it a dry wipe, and all these cobwebs like this, I'm going to get rid of them all. I wouldn't recommend dry wiping the outside of a car, but if you can have a look, there's all these cobwebs and all this crap here. So I want to get rid of all that and just give it a nice quick dry wipe, and then once we do that, we can give it a nice microfiber and then get ready for a little polish, just to bring the depth of the red out a little bit more, especially this side. This side has the clear remaining on it, so this will just make it look a little bit nicer. Just dry rag and that, and then we'll go over it properly. I mean, this engine bay is actually in pretty good nick. Like, it looks really, really nice. There's one thing when I bought the car was the engine bay and the interior sort of sold me on it. The outside, you know, can be something that can be worked on a lot later down the track. If someone really wants to put this car back on the road, or wants to turn it into a drift car or a burnout car or something, you know, the more time you put into a flip car, the better the chances of getting the price that you want. Now, I'm not expecting a very high price on this car because, you know, it is pretty, you know, rough on the outside, and the paint's a bit haggard. It does drive really nice, this car, and they usually do, unless they're really, really not looked after. I'm hoping to get, you know, 1200, 1500 I'll put it up for, or 2 grand I'll put it up for, and see what we get. And then at the end, I'll tell you guys what we're in the car for, and what we'll chuck it up for. And I've already got a lot of offers from you guys, some good ones too. If I get desperate, I'm more than happy to hit you guys up, and if someone wants it. I've got some wheel cleaner too, get all the brake dust off. And there's some mud around the wheels too from when it was out the back. So we'll try and wash all that off. Now I've got some of this Maguire's Ultimate Protector. So this is like a plastic protectant for just all these types of plastics and that, interior, exterior, engine bay stuff. So this stuff's actually really good. So you just put a little dab of it on, a microfiber, a towel or anything, and then rub it in. It'll sort of bring the plastic up to almost like what that is there. So hopefully it makes the engine bay look a bit nicer. Okay, so we give that a nice warp. Probably need a bit more material, but oh, look at that. Look at that already. Look at that. Oh, would you look at this? Would you look at this? Does anyone remember that video? Would you look at, oh, look at this. I don't know how nice it's gonna come up, but it might be a bit streaky. Getting a bit more material on that one, but that's all right. When you do this stuff, you know, people come around and have a look at the car in person. It's gonna see there's a lot more effort in. A lot of people will just, you know, put tyre shine over everything and send it. Show people that you've put time and effort into making it a better car. You know, I've done, I reckon, easy over maybe 20 flips in my time. So it's not a lot compared to some people, but, you know, I'm still a youngling, so you learn along the way. I'm gonna let that dry off. I should do the front here too, actually. And then once we're done, I'm gonna pull it out and give her a quick rinse, and then start doing the polish, put the wheel nuts on, and then vacuum inside, put some tyre shine on it, just make it look mint, because we're gonna take pictures of it. All right guys, so I'm just in the middle of giving her a bath. No need to film it because we saw it in the last video of me washing it, but I just wanted to show you. So I used some cheap Armor All wheel cleaner. So this is the wheel that I haven't cleaned yet, that I just soaked, so you can see how dirty it is. And now if we go over to the wheel I just rinsed, what a difference. That actually looks really nice with that alloy just glimmering like that. That looks so good. What a difference. Because I've given them all a soak as well. This one too, giving it a soak. So we'll rinse them all off, and then I'm just going to quickly show me the car, and then we'll pull it back in and get ready to give it a quick little buff. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it's coming out. It's looking sick. Ain't she bloody beautiful? Well, I gave her a nice wash, guys, and hit it with the chamois. Gave it a nice chamois. How much better does that look? It's got a shine to it now. We haven't even polished it. This is the good side though. The bonnet cut really nice too. Even this side actually does look pretty good. What a difference. The wheels come up awesome. Even the 1FG wheel. Also, coming to the back, I did actually wash all inside the boot jam here, and when I was in the boot I found the forward badge that's missing. So I get some double-sided tape and then chuck her on there. And that'll just make the car look a bit nicer at the back. Having all the badges won't look as derelict. Well, now we give her a nice wash. We're gonna pull her in, give her a little microfiber just to get any other crap off of it. We'll get ready to just put a bit of polish on her and liven up this color a little bit. All right guys, so now what I'm gonna do is I've got the Ultimate Compound now, giving the car a really nice wash, giving a microfiber to clean it. So we're gonna go over with the Ultimate Compound and just, I've got this used Maguire's pad. We're not detailing a freaking show car here, so I'm just gonna put a little compound on and just rub it into all the nice places where the paint has survived on this vehicle. So I might do half the guard here and show you. Usually people do a tape line, but I won't even bother. But hopefully this will bring back some depth in the color. And as we go, it'll probably sound a little less gritty too. And this is gonna take us a long time. I do have a machine. It is at my other house at the moment, but I kind of want to just show you guys how you can do it with hand pad and all that accessories like that, and don't have to go out and buy a machine. Takes a bit longer, but results are just as good. All right guys, first pass. That's looking so much more deep already. I can see. I don't know if the camera can bring that up, but you can't really see too much where I've done it from there to there, but it's a big difference already. I can see the depth and the shine is much better. Because if I put my head here, the shine isn't as deep. Put my head here, much better. So I'm gonna continue this down the side, the bonnet and the roof, the front. So I might be maybe an hour till I'm back, and we'll see how the car's starting to look. Now I don't know if you guys will be able to tell, but on camera I've done the guard, so you can see the shine of the guard is looking amazing. But then if I go to the door, you can see these scratches here. The polishing compound should bring that out, but the door's just not as nice. It's all these scratches and that, but the guard, oh, it looks amazing. So hopefully the rest of the car, once I do the bonnet, because you can see all this shit in the bonnet, all this crap should hopefully come out. If not, it'll look nicer regardless, no matter what we do to this bloody thing. Well, the guard almost looks like a different color. This has obviously been resprayed, this front end, because it wouldn't have been factory being a Fairmont front end. So the bonnet would have been resprayed, and I would say the front bumper bar too. Oh, let's continue. Well guys, about an hour's gone past. Wasn't too bad, but we managed to get a lot of the car polished. I couldn't get a lot of this crap out of the bonnet, but it looks really nice nonetheless. And all this side, all the doors, I did all the doors. Couldn't get this crap off here, but we got all the scratching at the bottom all off, which is really good. Did this side too, just on the doors. Also did the roof as much as I could, but the roof is like really starting to go with all the clears, same like the boot. So this is going to be probably the worst thing about the car would be the color. But also the mirror here, just off camera before, we put really heavy duty double-sided tape in there. So I lined it all in there with a G-clamp pushing that together. So I'll leave that for about half an hour or so. So she's coming together awesome. I'm really excited. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my vacuum cleaner from inside, and I'm going to give the inside a nice vacuum. But before we do that, let's chuck the Ford badge back on the back. Open the back door, give us some light. Only bad thing is when I open the door, can you hear all that wind coming in? Not the nicest Ford badge in the world, but locate the little holes. There we are. And push. Done. That's better. All right, so just off camera, cleaning out the boot because there's a lot of crap in there, and found some floor mats, which is good. So I found driver's one, passenger, so that'll make this look a bit nicer when we vacuum it all up. So I got the vacuum out. So viewers, Henry, viewers. So he's a cheeky little one, look at him, he's so cheeky. It's funny because when you take the little snout off, it's all like powdery around it. It looks like he does cocaine. So now we have Henry out, so we're gonna give this car a nice vacuum all around, and Henry's gonna snort some stuff. So the back isn't too bad, like the carpets aren't too bad. I actually have some floor mats from my AU over here I might put in the back. So just to make the car look a bit nicer. My work equips are currently on them, so I'll take them off. These little floor mats here, so I might put them in the back, give them a vacuum and tuck them in. No. Ooh, excuse me. Come on, Henry, fire up, brother. I don't know if you guys have ever tried it, but have you tried to make techno music with a vacuum cleaner? Like this? Cleaning up nicely. I think it'll look much better with the floor mats in it. Let's have a look at it with a cumed interior. Floor mat's a little bit dirty, but it's come up really nice. Even the back. The little floor mats in it, they're tiny floor mats, but they're better than the exposed carpet, in my opinion. Let's go to the other side. I might try to find something to clean the seats because the seat's a bit dirty. Look at that, it looks awesome. The interior of this car is awesome. Yeah, looking really good in here. And then when we cleaned the interior last time, it's held up really nice. Looks awesome. Gotta remember not to close this door because I've got the G-clamp on it. Look at her, it's coming together. God, these corner lights look so good. Oh, she's nearly there, guys. We're very, very close. Very, very close for advertising. So much better than when we first picked it up. It was so derelict, oh my God. I'm gonna quickly vacuum inside the boot here, and then we'll start with the engine and see if we can get it to quieten down a little bit. All right, guys, coming to the engine bay. So I've actually popped this front bolt out of the rocker here, so it's over there, and we've also got the cap off. So I just want to start it quickly and just have an inspection. I was going to take the rock cover off, but now that I have this this hole here and the oil cap off, I'm just going to have a listen in here and just see what we're working with. And then also we have our additive we're going to put in, so hopefully we can let that cycle for a while and work its way through and hopefully quieten it down. So fingers crossed. We'll run it for a bit. We'll turn it on now and we'll just have a listen to her. Okay, now she's not starting. Alright, I hope that smart lock hasn't fucking cut in again. It might be out of fuel, so let's just put some fuel in it first. Okay, now it started. Let's have a listen. That squeal in there. Let's get this one. And we'll quieten. That squeal makes it sound so much worse. Definitely coming from the front there. Quieten the squeal up a bit. Yeah, I might add the additive through here and we'll see, we'll let it cycle for a bit, go for a drive, and we'll come back. Alright, going for a drive now, guys, in the Beast. The only thing I can hear is the squeal from the belt. You can't even hear the lifters when you're driving. Yeah, I can just hear the squealer from the belt. I tried to quieten it up with the marine stuff, but just I think it's an idler that's gone squealy on it. So I could change it, but I'll just probably leave it as is. But as soon as you back off the throttle, it's dead quiet. But then still got plenty of balls. Yeah, still got plenty of balls, the old girl. So hopefully we can get those lifters to quieten up a little bit, but give her a bit of a thrash. But yeah, I can still just hear the lifters, so I don't think they're going to quieten up too much, which is a shame. But also we do have an airbag light because one of the airbag fuses is popped, which is in the door pocket there somewhere. But the car's actually really nice. Got the radio going, a bit of Pearl Jam. Can't play that because it's demonetized. Yeah, it's really nice in here, but yeah, far out, this thing goes good. I actually smell the new brakes now that we're using them. Well, brought her home after a bit of a thrash, and the lifters are still a bit noisy, so I think we're gonna have to sell it like this. It's gonna hurt the value of the car a little bit, but you know, so be it. Someone might want to put a barrel in one of these, so this will be a perfect candidate. But like, the engine's still good, the power feels fucking unreal still. Like, it feels pretty much the same as my green one over there. So even if someone wants to do some lifters to it, they can do that if they really want to. But the car still drives really nice. Feels like an EF, which is the main thing, even with the lowered springs. Maybe a few more drives that might quieten down a little bit, but yeah, maybe a few cycles. Who knows? Well, if we're not getting our money's worth, might have a bit of fun with it while it lasts. Got a bit foggy today. Maybe that might have quietened the lifters. Nah, it hasn't. This looks good here. This is where I'm going to take the photos. Bit windy though, but really complements the colour. And here's the bad side. Even the bad side looks pretty good. I think she's looking great, guys. Spewing about the lifter tick, but that's cars for you. What can I say? I'm really happy with how this car's turned out over the last few months. I can't even remember how long ago it was till we bought this car, but it's been on the back burner because I have so many cars. If it wasn't for having 12 cars, this would have been much of a faster turnover, but I know you guys are hanging for part 2, so this is going to be the last of cleaning her up. I'm really happy with how she's come out. I'm not happy about the lifter tick not quietening down, but that's part of cars, so I might have a look into that over the next few days, but I am going to advertise her tonight. We'll see how she goes. Took a video of it running. Now, when you write ads for cars like these, guys, you need to disclose everything that's wrong with it. It's just so much better to be an honest person, because the last thing you want is to sell a dud car to someone, even if it's a young kid or someone who wants to get into cars. It's just such a dick move. I've bought cars from people that have, you know, falsely advertised them and stuff like that, and I hate being burned. And when we advertise this car, we're going to make sure that we tell them about the lifter tick. You know, things, just small things like the key fob gets a bit sticky, the door locks are a bit of a pain in the ass like that, just small things like that. But state all the bad stuff, like the paint, obviously. But then obviously, you know, the selling points is, you know, the car itself is actually quite clean. It drives really nice. Brakes are brand new. It's got new bonnet struts, new corner lights. So we put a little bit of money into it. Brand new battery as well. The alloy's cleaned up really nice. And these cars are getting harder and harder to find at the price that I paid for it. Speaking of the price I paid for it, let's quickly go over, before this video ends, how much we're in this car at the moment from start to finish. Okay, so going over the parts, costs, and everything that we have bought brand new for this car, I've sort of made a little list here. So first of all, the car itself, the car was $300, and then the permit to get it home was $46 because we did a day permit. So the brand new battery we put in it was a very cheap one, so it was $110 for a brand new battery. The bonnet struts were $50. The new corner lights we put on today, they were $50 from eBay, so that's a really good price. I was really happy with those. Front rotors and pads, $100, very cheap to replace. We just went standard rotors and standard pads. I think the Bendix pads. And the lifter additive, $15. That's all I can really think of what we've actually put into this car, because every other thing, like the wheels I had lying around, the rear springs I had lying around to lower it. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else, you know, I spent with this car. You know, the paint and stuff I had lying around, all the tools and stuff like that. Interior cleaner, that was all, you know, stuff I had lying around too, so that was all free. Polishing, all that stuff. That was just labor and time, so that was just my time, my labor. We could have bought the car for $300 and then just flipped it for 500, made a quick profit, but I love doing this to cars, putting a little bit of money into it, seeing, you know, what you can do in a way to make the car benefit someone else that wants to buy it, as well as, you know, just that satisfaction of doing it yourself. And you might see this car on the road again. You know, I've flipped cars and I've seen them, you know, a couple of years later, and it's awesome because people will keep up, you know, what you've done to it, make them nicer. Maybe someone buys it, thrashes it, goes to scrap, who knows. So all in all, from buying this car to right now, we're in the car for $671. So this car, $671, running and driving, can be registered. I've checked online, there's no, you know, stolen reports, crash reports, all that stuff. Can be registered. It drives really nice. So $671 for a running and driving Falcon, I think is pretty good. Let's say, for instance, we sell the car for, you know, $800. We profited, you know, 100 and something. The next video will be when we sell the car. So we're going to do a whole breakdown of the ad, selling the car, what you guys need to do, you know, to make it easier to sell. Also, I forgot to tell, our mirror has survived. It hasn't fallen off, and it's sort of staying on there, which is good. So the G-clamp did its thing. But yeah, next video will definitely be advertising it, selling it, seeing how much we made on top. I think, guys, we're going to make a profit regardless, no matter how big or small. And then we'll put that into the next car. And don't worry, there is a car coming. So we'll leave it at that. I really hope you guys enjoyed this series, and we'll see this car very soon. Hopefully this inspires you to go out and do the same thing as me, because you can do it, guys. If I can do it, anyone can. So you take care, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one. Ciao.